right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the massive correction that we have seen over the last several days on Bitcoin, because as you guys know, last week was one of, if not the most significant week in the entire history of Bitcoin as far as adoption is concerned, because we finally saw the approval of the Bitcoin spot ETF. We saw 11 of them approved on the same day by the Securities and Exchange Commission, and many people, including myself, thought that Bitcoin would be trading significantly higher than it is today. So today we're going to ask one main question: why has Bitcoin corrected as much as it has, and where may Bitcoin be going next? How do we prepare ourselves for this next season, and what should we know moving forward into the year of 2024, as it is shaping up to be one of the most pivotal in the entire history of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market? Welcome to Coffee and Crypto Live. If this is your first time here, my name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for over 6.5 years, doing technical analysis and charting on the Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrency markets. I'm an investor in the cryptocurrency space, and I love to teach because I love to share with people the gift of knowledge and wisdom, and I'm really excited to be here every single morning to make sure that we are learning as much as we possibly can about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency, and also about something that I call financial sovereignty. So let's go ahead and introduce everyone who's in chat today. Alex Nybo is here, Grand Roofing Incorporated is here, Sean, Joe Bollier, Yaboy91, Marley's here, RJ, RC Moore, Zach Kejmar, Sweet Benabear 12 is in chat, Gianni and Heath, his boy Elroy, Yair Navarro, Grand Roofing Incorporated, in chat, Lion in My Pocket, One House Production, Sweet Bear, Sweet Benabear, Crypto Ohio, Smiles, Mean Beam Okerlund, Harmindra Patel from London, Objectively Real Reality Objectively, Soja Bean, Jao, Pereira, I always butcher that. I don't think I got it, even today. I normally, after a day or two, I will get it. I don't think I got it. I'm sorry. You'll have to tell me. I'm going to need to put that into some AI voice thing so I can know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Dax Brody's in chat. Mattis S. One House Productions. Man, there's always a lot of you guys. Steven's in chat. Leg Bite. Josh. Crypto Mini Bite. Kelly Kellum is in chat. Good to see you, Kelly. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Haven't spoken to you in a while. Everybody, if you've not followed Kelly on Twitter, my man's got some excellent takes. Make sure to go and follow Kelly Kellum on Twitter. Is very good to see you, my friend. We are going to get started because there are so many of you guys. Man, there's so many of you guys. It's so hard to keep up. We've just gotten started, and there's already over 300 people in chat. If you guys are looking forward to today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because we got a lot to cover. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Bitcoin right now trading at $43,417 according to CoinMarketCap, but that doesn't look right. Let's update that. Aha. Accept the cookies. 42,372. That's more like it. We're down 1% over the last 24 hours, down 5.5% over the last 7 days, which is in stark contrast to Ethereum, which has rallied 11% over the last 7 days. It's mostly been sideways and correcting over the last few days, but we did have a major rally following the Bitcoin ETF approval on Ethereum, because we saw that Ethereum would likely go through the same approval process that Bitcoin just did at some point. Many people are very excited on Ethereum because the Ethereum ETF is now the next big thing. So I do anticipate that Ethereum will do exceptionally well in the calendar year of 2024. I believe that Ethereum could be trading well over $5,000 by the end of 24. Binance has gone through a significant rally over the last 24 hours. It was a laggard. It had not done exceptionally well in the last couple of weeks, but we're now starting to see it come into its own. Solana trading at $94. I'm really excited to see that, actually. I'm really very excited to see that correction, because I do believe that Solana could rally to between $500 to $700 in the coming couple of years. But to get there, it did need a correction in the short term. Solana has been absolutely parabolic lately, and so it trading around $94 and establishing market structure there is excellent, and also gives us a proper buying opportunity to dollar cost average into it even more. Cardano is currently trading at 53 cents, which is likewise wonderful. I love these levels, and I am looking forward to buying more at these levels on this discount. It's going to be great. Avalanche, $35. Chainlink, $15. It's gone through a substantial rally. And run away from Polygon, which has been going through a correction. Chainlink and Polygon are two excellent additions to any crypto portfolio. ICP is trading sideways over the last week, just shy of $13. Litecoin's at $69.86. It is up ever so slightly. Uniswap sitting at $6.58. Still great purchase opportunities here, guys. Many of these altcoins are still going to have to go through a 3x to a 4x to return simply to all-time high, and we obviously do believe that many of them will go farther than all-time high. So that is exceptionally exciting, and we will continue to discuss all of that. Kelly's in chat. So Kelly, I'm going to go ahead and tell your origin story here in the crypto community. Where we met, we were doing a not a coaching call. We were doing a webinar, and what we used to do is we used to charge $50, and we'd get a bunch of people in the webinar. And Kelly was in one of these webinars, and he'd been watching the channel for several years. And something happened, some kind of technical difficulty happened. Tim and I were in the webinar, and this is about 3 years ago. Tim and I were in the webinar, and we were trying to figure out what was going on with the technical difficulty. So I don't remember what it was. Kelly, you probably remember. Obviously, you were there. This is how we met. But Kelly kind of took it. We couldn't talk. I think we didn't have mics. So Kelly took over and continued the teaching for a few minutes while we were trying to get everything back on track. We're like, wow, man, thank you so much. So he kind of like co-hosted the whole thing until the end. And then we got into communication. He ended up working for us for a little bit, and he got his own Twitter, and he's just been absolutely blowing up. So guys, make sure to go follow Kelly. And he probably won't tell that story because he's a humble fella, but he absolutely nailed it. Really appreciate you saving the day while we figured everything out there, Kelly. All right, let's read chat for just a minute, and then we're going to jump straight on into some trading view because there is a lot to cover. Bitcoin Trenny is in chat. Dr. Ada's daddy's in chat. We got the Hoskinson himself here, I suppose. Good morning, all. God loves you. That's right. I love to see it. Last dump before the parabolic storm. I think that is about exactly right. Dr. Ada's daddy said, good morning, Jeb. Would love your opinion. Will Ethereum have issues receiving SEC approval due to its recent switch to proof of stake? How does this recent switch affect its decentralization? Ethereum has always had certain concerns about decentralization, and quite frankly, every single cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin has concerns about decentralization. I am not particularly worried about Ethereum's level of decentralization at the moment because I haven't seen any real evidence that it's a big issue. What I will say is that it has been considered by many to be a commodity. In many legal documentations, it has been considered to be a commodity. The big Gensler himself has not gone after Ethereum as a security. So I do believe that it'll be relatively simple to get an Ethereum ETF approval, even if it's not in the tenure of Gary Gensler himself. That being said, I do still think it could take a multitude of years. But nevertheless, now that the Bitcoin ETF has been approved, that clears the way for the hype around an Ethereum ETF. So expect there to be a perfect storm of bullishness on Ethereum over the next 1 to 2 years as we move into seeing more Ethereum ETF applications, which we no doubt will. All right, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin here because Bitcoin has done the opposite of what many people expected. We did see Mike Novgorod's, and I don't have the clip right in front of me, but Mike Novgorod's on the first trading day, which was Thursday last week, said that we may see 50 and we may see 40 all in the same day. And boy, was he about right. It wasn't all in the exact same day, but Bitcoin touched 49 and it's dropped all the way down to 41. He was very close to just perfectly spot on that call. And it's very interesting to me that Bitcoin has dumped here, because there was a large part of me that was considering that it would go further than $50,000. Our original and our standing prediction was that Bitcoin would hit $50,000 within hours to days of the ETF approval. From there, we talked about how within Q1, Bitcoin could be returning back to all-time high. And that could still very well happen, and we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. We ended up updating that prediction after the ETF approval, the day of the ETF approval. Actually, I'm sorry, the day of the trading's beginning to by the end of Q2. But we did end up hitting roughly $50,000. There was resistance around 49. That's where we rallied to. But we've had this correction. Many people are wondering why this correction has occurred. In short, this correction has occurred very simply because there has been a great deal of FOMO that is left. In a sense, the entire Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market was anticipating the ETF approvals. And now the ETFs have been approved. And there's been a ridiculous amount of volume, and the launch went off about as well as you could possibly hope for. And so now we don't have that to look forward to. And so some of the bullish exuberance of the ETF coming is now gone. And we've seen that happen before. If you look at the GLD ETF, the SPDR Gold Trust, going back to 2004 when it was actually approved, you saw that the price of gold dropped by upwards of 10%. Which is a significant amount for a multi-trillion-dollar global precious metal commodities market. That was a major movement. In the first 70 days, gold would drop by 10.95%. If you look at the gold spot price, at the same time, because this chart will track back farther than the ETF, because this is obviously not something that needed approval, this is just the going rate, you saw that gold would drop from $456 an ounce down to $410 an ounce. Again, about a 10% movement within the first, give or take, 90 days. You saw an immediate blow-off rally, which is what we saw on Bitcoin, but frankly, it wasn't a very big blow-off rally. It only lasted a couple of weeks in gold's case, and then we dropped for another 10 weeks. In Bitcoin's case, it seems that we're seeing something very similar, except we're seeing it on a shorter-term time frame. We're seeing it down on the daily chart. We rallied for a couple of days, and then we're going on to correct from that peak about 15 to 20%. Bitcoin's more volatile. A 15% movement is a lot more likely in Bitcoin than it was in gold, even back then before and during the early days of the ETF. This is about what we saw happen with gold. Not a massive breakout when we saw approval, and not a massive correction after we saw the thing actually start trading and stabilize after a few days. But what we did see that is significant on gold, and that I believe will repeat itself on Bitcoin, is that after the spot ETF was approved, and after that small dip took place, which in the grand scheme of things barely even shows up when we're looking at it from outer space like this over the course of 25 years of charting, gold would go on a rally of 353% over the course of the next 7 years. And so if we are so close to the problem that all we can see is this, then we miss this. A 12-year-long bull market. And I do believe that if we are so caught up on this little correction right here, if we're so caught up on the last 5 days, then we very well may just miss this. A 10-year-long bull market that Bitcoin has led a 30 to 50, 100,000% rally on. We were trading at less than $100 a decade ago. Right now, we are trading at $42,500. And I do believe that there will be significant returns to follow from here. Our prediction that we outlined in a video last week is as follows. I believe that Bitcoin will be trading at $100,000 at some point between the beginning of August this year and the beginning of November this year. I think that we will be trading at that level for a multitude of reasons, but the main reason why I think that we'll be trading there is because after this small correction that we see on Bitcoin, which could drop us as low as $31,800, which would be $10,000 lower than where we are right now. After this small correction, and I do say small, even if we were to drop another 10 grand from here, another 25% from here, after this small correction, I do believe that Bitcoin will be going through a major rally, and I do believe that Bitcoin will be pushing towards all-time high by the end of quarter two. I'm very, very, very excited to see where Bitcoin goes. So let's do some more technical analysis and figure out what the likelihood of that is with our updated information. Today, Monday, January the 15th. Bitcoin has gone through a major correction, and a couple of very bearish things have happened that would be irresponsible for us to not consider. First of all, Bitcoin has actually broken below a very important uptrending level of support. We have seen Bitcoin break below this level right over here. That uptrending level of support there in green, yellow. I still don't know. I'd make it a different color, but I think it's kind of funny to mock myself for not being able to tell what color it is. That uptrending level of support is so critical to Bitcoin that it has been the defining uptrending level of support. It has been the defining characteristic of Bitcoin's market structure for quite a long time. And the fact that we're breaking below that denotes a significant shift in strength on the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. It denotes that the bears have started to take back control. And we see that being present on CoinMarketCap when we look at the Fear and Greed Index sitting at 59. That is the lowest level that we have seen in quite some time. Fear and Greed has been dropping, and it dropped substantially after the ETF was actually approved from about 74 all the way down to 59. And Fear and Greed does have its issues. It is not a perfect technical indicator. None are, but I will say that that makes sense. That does sound like it lines up quite accurately with the sentiment in Bitcoin. But what I want to encourage you with is that Bitcoin has still managed to hold $40,500. This critical support level, this critical support architecture right here, which was set as a low here on the 3rd of January, on the 18th of December, and on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of December last year. We also, of course, have strong resistance here between $38,000 and $39,000, as you can see right there. And we also have strong VRVP support immediately beneath us. We have strong VRVP support here between 36 and 38, which is where this box right here comes from. And we also have the CME futures gap down here. We very well may go and fill it. It's down between 38 to 39. We could fill that, bounce and rally, and reconstitute the rally after we have a large correction. Bitcoin has been needing a drop. It makes sense that Bitcoin would go through its correction after the ETF is actually approved. Bitcoin rallied nearly 100% in 4 short months, and so a correction of 15% to date, and even a correction down to 20 to 25%, down to 38, maybe even down to 36, is not something that we should be concerned about at all. Many people are seeing this correction on Bitcoin and calling that the ETF launch was a complete and total failure. To counter that, I would point out the Coinbase stock launch, the IPO. It launched on this day, April 14th, 2021. Clearly, that date was not the beginning of a massive uptrend. Bitcoin corrected. Keep in mind, though, this was at the beginning of the 4-year. This was in the middle of the top of the peaking part of the 4-year market cycle, having happened well over a year post-halving. The halving's right here. This happened 14 months post-halving. So, of course, it makes sense that a major market top was occurring. The same thing happened back over here on December 16th, I believe it was, when Bitcoin futures launched. Bitcoin literally began the bear market the day that Bitcoin futures launched. Pretty much anytime something launches on Wall Street, Bitcoin goes through a massive correction. It stands to reason that the ETF would not be much different. And so again, seeing this correction here does not mean that the long-term impact of the ETF is going to be bearish. In the same way that the Coinbase IPO was not a long-term bearish catalyst, and in the same way that the CME futures gap, the CME futures launch on Bitcoin futures was not a long-term bearish catalyst necessarily for Bitcoin. Of course, people could short Bitcoin in a way they never could before, so in a way it was. But in the long run, it actually ended up being a very significant adoption event that legitimized the Bitcoin market. In a similar way, Bitcoin is going through a correction, which is much needed. In the same way, Bitcoin very much needed a correction around the time that the Coinbase IPO launched. It very much needed a correction around the time that the CME futures launched. Right now, Bitcoin very much needs a correction, but the good news is we're not even through the beginning of the cycle. We've barely exited the pre-halving phase of the bull market. The halving is still 4 months away, which means we probably still got 16 to 18 months of bull market left. Which means that if we are interested in building portfolios in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it is not too late. And that's what I'm really interested in driving home today. Many people are concerned that the bull market is now over and we are about to go through a massive crash because the ETF launched and Bitcoin corrected. And to that I say, we could drop another $10,000 and it would not be of concern. In fact, it would be an excellent opportunity for us to load up more bags and build a larger portfolio. If you look at our chart here, I have the halving up May 12th, 2020. I believe it was May 12th. It was that week anyway. In fact, we would want to look at the total high, November 14th, 2021. A similar thing occurred here. What was it, June? Let's see if I have my history correct. June of 2016 was the halving on the total charts. All-time high was hit 600 days, slated to happen somewhere out here in early April. 600 days from then is well off into 2025. We've still got all of this year and a considerable amount of next year to look forward to bull market based on our historical analysis. So with all of that said, should we be building more positions at these levels? I think so. I am quite confident that we should. And by the way, it's not just me. If you look at MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, one of the wisest investors in the cryptocurrency markets, has just sold a significant amount in 2 weeks. Talk about a buying opportunity, a buy the dip event on MSTR. And what did he do with the money? Well, what do you think he did with the money? He bought a buttload of Bitcoin with it. Tens of thousands. Adding to his position. He's selling his stock, which has gone on a 500% rally, 450% rally, to the chagrin of his investors, to buy more Bitcoin. Why? Because Michael Saylor knows that if he buys more Bitcoin in the short term, it may crash the stock price, but in the long run, the appreciation of the value of the holdings of Bitcoin will lead to an even larger stock increase. So he's playing the altcoin engine, except it's not altcoins. He's playing back and forth with his Bitcoin and with his stock so that the rally on the Bitcoin market can adequately drive a rally on the stock, on his stock. And whenever the stock goes extremely high and there's a lot of profit there, he sells it, causes a stock sell-off, because obviously he's a very large holder of his own stock. And then he buys more Bitcoin, and guess what? The Bitcoin goes up in value, so the whole stock, all of the stock goes up again, sells more, buys more Bitcoin, and you have this engine going. Michael Saylor knows what he's doing, and he's not the only one. You've got Cathie Wood, who's also arguing that you're going to see a $650,000 to $1.5 million Bitcoin by the end of the year. I think that that's a little bit high. I think that's doable. Sorry, by the end of the decade, she predicts. I think that's a little bit high. I think it's doable. I think it's a little bit aggressive, but you get the point. You have many people that know what they're talking about, believing that a massive rally on Bitcoin is coming. And many of those investors are doing just that. They are investing in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. So the ETF, in my opinion, has done nothing but good for Bitcoin so far. And I do believe that it's going to continue to do well as well. I'll be honest. I thought that Bitcoin would be trading higher right now, but I'm still quite confident that our original prediction of an all-time high run soon will be happening. And I will just go ahead and show you the reasoning for that once again. Bitcoin has virtually no resistance above $50,000. $50K is our floor right now. And for all I know, maybe we need to see some sideways trading like what we saw here in May, June, July, and August. Perhaps we need to see some sideways trading. We did just double, right? Maybe we need to ladder our way up, stair step sideways, and then go through another rally around the halving. That's very possible. But that fits in with our current prediction, which is by the end of Q2, which is the end of June, having a January, February, March, April, May, June. Yes, the end of June. Sorry, I had to check myself there. By the end of June, having an all-time high run on Bitcoin. You can see sideways trade. So could we drop down to the 36 region? Yes. Could we even drop down to our resistance, our support here around 32? Yes. But are we going to have an overall bullish trend this year? Also, yes. And if we do go through correction, then to a great degree, our response to that ought to be great, because that gives us a greater buying opportunity. And right now really is the altcoins opportunity. If you look over at the cryptocurrency, over at CoinMarketCap, you can see on the Bitcoin dominance over the last year, Bitcoin has been gradually gaining dominance, but even recently over the period of this time with the ETF hype, Bitcoin's rallied exceptionally, but the altcoins have actually gained a good bit of dominance. They've done very well. Bitcoin went from about 51.5% down to about 40.3% because some of that value has flown into the altcoins. So right now, the altcoins are kind of shining, especially Ethereum. Ethereum has rallied exceptionally well over the last couple of weeks. And so building altcoin positions for this coming bull market. Brian Hoskins is Brian. Let's see. Rocket Metal News said, "Hey Jeb, hi there." But then gold rallied 375%. That's right, exactly. Craig said, "Good, caught the beginning of the live stream." Jeb, what about simply waiting to take profits then getting back in on the drops? Simply wanting to take profits then getting back in on the drops. I the thing is, you want to be careful with that because we don't know how long this correction will last. Gold's example was a 90-day was about a 70 to 80-day correction. We could see that. Like I said, at this point, I want to let you guys know that I could see, based on the kind of movement that we've seen over the last week since the launch, we could see a correction down to 31.8, and that could last 70 to 90 days. I think that that would be extreme. I'm not exactly expecting that to occur, but it is possible. And so we want to be careful enough to be prepared for that. That being said, right now, I believe you'd be betting against a very bullish market. Fundamentally, the market is more bullish than ever. The sentiment is not as bullish as ever because there's not as much FOMO. It's okay to take profits, but you just don't know how much the market's going to correct, if it's going to. Vintage Excellence said, strap in for some sideways action. Probably. By 2030, Kathy Wood said. Yes. Yes. All right. You don't know squat. You said it was going to pump after the ETF, and it went down. Well, Jim Jam, sorry to tell you, but it did pump after the ETF. It rallied up to 49, but then it went through the corrective movement. And I do believe the main reason it went through the corrective movement was because we no longer had this opportunity on the horizon. We had, you know, the market probably feels a little bit like Michael Sonnenschein over at Grayscale. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing when this thing actually gets approved, and it's going to pave the way. And then it gets approved, and everybody else has a fifth the fee that you have. And Michael Sonnenschein realizes, wait a minute, we've been fighting the SEC for a decade on this, and you know what? That's pretty cool. We won, but now we got competition, and Bitcoin's in a little bit of now. Nothing bearish happened. Like, people want to freak out about this and act like something, oh my gosh, something terrible happened. It's like, no, was there a massive birthday, day after Father's Day, whatever, that you really didn't want back from that vacation? You have your eyes dilated because you've been in a dark room, and you walk into a room. The difference is the contrast. And so what we're experiencing right now on Bitcoin is the contrast between a market that is heavily driven by FOMO and now a market that doesn't have that FOMO. It's not that something exceptionally bearish happened. It's just that the FOMO isn't there anymore. It's like if you wake up and somebody shines a bright light in your eye and you're like, oh my goodness, golly, could you give me a minute? Just let my eyes adjust, right? That's what's going on Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's saying, oh my goodness, give me a second. Like, let me just get my footing back. How are we going to trade here without all the FOMO? I mean, that's exactly what we see happening here in the fear and greed. And so that's not really a bearish thing, which is why I don't give a bunch of strength to the bears right now. I don't think the bears have garnered a huge amount of strength. I just think that the bulls have lost a little bit of their fire, which in perspective makes it look like the bears are stronger, but they're not actually necessarily making any gains. And so when we do see something catalyze the bulls, maybe we have a strong bounce off of support. Maybe Bitcoin sees an abnormally high day of trading volume on the ETF. Maybe, as we're reading, you know, BlackRock goes and gobbles up an inordinate amount of Bitcoin, takes it out of the takes a inordinate amount of Bitcoin out of circulation and changes the supply and demand economics. You know, we've got this right here. $9 trillion asset manager BlackRock has reportedly bought a staggering 11,500 Bitcoin during the latest dip. I know a lot of people don't want this man, you know, the boogeyman of Wall Street, Larry Fink, who also, by the way, like made ETFs happen in Bitcoin. I know a lot of people don't want him holding all the Bitcoin. Bottom line is they're going to be taking a lot out of circulation, and that's going to have a major long-term impact. All these things are still occurring. All right? The market's still very bullish. So we shouldn't. You're glitching. You have not been on interacting with us a lot. No burned, maybe. If you was, you have known that your stream is valid. Shake my head. Are you talking to me, Crypto Surge, or are you talking? I think you're talking to Jim Jam. I'm not sure. Who are you talking to, Crypto Surge? I'm not exactly sure what you were trying to say it. The show's been lagging a lot today. Huh. Interesting. Well, I've got a solution for that. Boom. Sometimes that is my internet's way of saying, look at the charts more. If I put my face down here, then it is less that the internet has to manage, and I can look at comments on my phone. And then we won't have to worry about the lag because the screen isn't updating anyway. Gonna read some chat. Normally I'd have my face up, but if you guys are reporting lag, then I'll go ahead and put myself down here so that we don't have to deal with that. Oh, there we go. There's a crypto.com ad. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Oh, you guys were talking about lag. Oh, I see. I see. You said glitching. I'm sorry. Thank you, guys. Huh. Interesting. Well, hopefully this will fix it. You guys can tell me if it will. Lagging here too. Yeah, you're glitching. Hopefully this will help. Apologies for that, guys. I don't know what it is. Just every once in a while, my internet gives me issues. But normally it's fine. So it's kind of hard to diagnose because there's no rhyme or reason to it. Internet's strange. All right. Don't expect the SEC to quickly approve an Ethereum ETF is not considered a commodity like Bitcoin. SEC hates proof of stake coins. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. I think that you're probably going to need to see a new administration to get an Ethereum ETF. It was hard enough to get a Bitcoin ETF, and Gary Gensler drug his feet on that like crazy. So I don't think that we're going to see a huge push for an Ethereum ETF, but it could be a couple of years. It could only be a couple of years. Larry Fink is trying to disrupt your stream. I know. I said, look at this guy. Yes, Jeb, it's happening a lot. It has been fixed so far. Sorry, guys. I mean, I do send a 4K video feed to YouTube from this camera, so maybe I could cut that down. Might do that. I think we stream it. I believe I set us up to stream in 1440, don't I? Advanced. Let's see. Yes, I do. We stream in 1440. Ah. John Doe said, Jeb, you're probably close to Mar-a-Lago. The tap taking your bandwidth. Nope, not terribly close to Mar-a-Lago. More people are using internet today because of the holiday. It lags for a sec, then it comes right back. That's a good point. That makes sense. But wait, does it? Does that make sense? Don't people use internet at work? I don't know. Like, don't people especially use internet at work when they're not doing their job and they're sitting there browsing TikTok? I don't know. It's not that bad. Yeah, when I'm down here in the bottom left, then it doesn't lag as much because the thing that takes a lot of bit rate is this 1440 video feed. So all right. Let's answer some questions. Guys, give me some of your concerns right now, because I want to really get to know what you guys are feeling about the charts right now. What are you guys feeling about this correction? A lot of people are super freaked out, and I just don't think that that's necessary, but I really want to be able to know what you guys are feeling. What are you guys feeling? So let us know. Most phones can't distinguish between 4K and 720p. That's right. All the kids are home from school. Oh, I guess that does make sense, actually. That's true. What's my ping? It's normally very low. I could check it, but that would definitely put a lag on the internet. Look at the yearly chart and relax. Yeah, precisely. That's kind of the point. Here we go. Fear and greed is trending down. Yep. Don Crypto 101 said, thanks for everything, Jeb. Low 39 or 38, then to the moon. Yeah, and look, and sometimes Bitcoin goes and fills the CME futures gaps because it just makes for a good amount of correction. It's like, all right, let's drop 19.5%. Great. That's about a perfect correction. I would love to see a 20% correction and then boom, rally. There's a large part of me that hopes we fill the CME futures gap. Do we always have to fill a CME futures gap? No. Do we tend to? Yeah. Are we going to fill every one? No, because there's one down here at 20K that I am almost certain will never be filled. I don't think you'll ever see a $25,000 Bitcoin, $20,000 Bitcoin ever again. I really don't. I'm very confident on that. If I could bet on it, I would bet that you would never see a $20,000 Bitcoin ever again. So every CME futures gap is not going to be filled. But the one right below us, at this point, I'm starting to think it will be. So while we could go down to 31.8, and it's possible, that's not really my most likely prediction. I am at this point thinking the CME futures gap is going to be filled. DHN Crypto said, totally calm, waiting on the end of the year rally. Yup. Passive income with AI said, expect the unexpected, just hold. Master of Parsnips said, feeling bullish here. Good. Daniel Stewart said, nope. Guys, we've got a lot of bullishness coming to the cryptocurrency market this year. And if you want to make the most of that bullishness, it is very, very important that we ensure that we are keeping ourselves safe online and free while we browse the internet. And that is precisely why we have decided to enter into an even longer term partnership with NordVPN. I'm very excited that they are sponsoring the channel, and they will be for some time to come. We're very excited about them. If you look right over there, you'll see the NordVPN logo. And the reason that I want you to go and sign up for NordVPN is because they're going to help you to browse the internet safely, and they're going to help you to browse the internet freely. If you live in a country that tries to restrict where you go and says you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't go here, you can't go there, NordVPN is going to help with that. But NordVPN is also going to protect. We need to be responsible with biometrics and Face ID and all these different things. But there are still plenty of ways that a hacker can get access to your accounts through phishing emails that maybe you accidentally click on or different scams. And NordVPN is going to help to protect you from all of that illicit activity where hackers are going to try and come in and steal thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars from you. So make the very, very, very small, relatively speaking, investment of investing in NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. Crypto Surge said, "Oh no, it's starting again." Man, that's very strange. I'm sorry, guys. I would go and fix something with it, but we're about to wrap it out. I'm okay with it because I'll be able to invest more money when it's down. Yep, Jesse, that is right. I agree. I think that's great. Crypto Surge said, "Oh no, the lag's starting again." Sorry, guys. I'm not sure why that's happening. I'll look into it when as soon as we get off stream. Short-term, crazy up, down with ETF, but normal otherwise. Yes. No, there's been a lot of volatility, and we always expected that there would be. But from here, I do believe that we will see a large amount of bullishness coming in the not-too-distant future. By the way, guys, if you have not already, I also highly encourage you to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. And the reason I want you to do that is because CT2A is the one-stop shop where you can learn everything that you need to know about technical analysis so you can hit the ground running in the cryptocurrency space and make yourself some money. It's very important that we understand technical analysis, because if we understand technical analysis, if we understand the art of chart reading, then we will be in prime position to make the most of the coming bull market. So if you've not already signed up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, make sure to do so at the link in the description box down below and learn about the indicators, learn about the charts, learn about the candlesticks, learn about the patterns, learn about the principles, the philosophies, and the application of how to apply technical analysis into trading and investing. So make sure to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy with the link in the description box down below and get access to over 45 high-quality educational videos teaching you everything that you need to know to be successful in the cryptocurrency space in 2024. Don't go out there and try and get super into cryptocurrency without knowing what you're doing. Make sure that you have an understanding of how it works in the first place. All right. Mr. Anti-Eggman said, "All good. NordVPN for the win." Boom. Thank you, sir. Jesse said, "I bought the dip, I'm guessing." All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. Oh, well, thank you. Somebody just said they're not seeing the NordVPN link. Give me a second. Let me fix that. I'll fix that right now. I will fix that right now. Give me just a second, guys. Like I told you guys, we are very excited to let you guys know that we just began a longer-term partnership with NordVPN, which is exciting. So I need to put the link back there. Let me fix that. It's nordvpn.com/Jeb. Always have been, always has been, always will be. But if you refresh your page, it should be there now. Sorry about that. Like I said, nordvpn.com/Jeb, and I really do believe, guys, that you'll be glad you got it. I don't take sponsors and affiliates that I don't think are going to actually help you guys. Mitchell Rules, thank you so much for telling me that. Apologies about that, guys. That should be fixed now. All right, I'm going to read the last couple of questions, and then we're going to wrap it out. If you guys have enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it out. If you guys did enjoy, again, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the post notification bell so you won't miss a single episode of Coffee and Crypto Live. Don't miss any of our content. We got a lot of it coming out, and make sure to stay tuned. Oh, and also follow us on Twitter. You can find the links for that down below. I'm trying to get more active over there. And we're going to wrap it out. But guys, there's a lot of great investment opportunities coming up. Really excited to be walking through this market with all of you. And so if you enjoyed, stay tuned. More to come. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling.